All right. Good morning and welcome to today's presentation, What's Happening in Martin County. Thank you for joining us. My name is Joanne Worsline. I am your Vice President at our JTHS Miami office in Jupiter. This program is being recorded and will be available on MiamiRealtorsLive.com by the end of the week. Please keep your mics on mute and please note that the chat will be closed until we open it up for the question and answer session at the end. I would like to now introduce and welcome our 2022 JTHS Miami President, Brad Westover. Thank you for being with us today. And without further ado, I would now like to introduce our two-time past president and current leader, Phyllis Choi. Good morning, Phyllis.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. We're so excited to have our friends from the Martin County Property Appraiser site with us this morning. Allow me to introduce to you Jenny Fields, who was elected in 2021 as the Martin County Property Appraiser. Jenny has worked at the Property Appraiser's office for 33 years. Is that not amazing? So she began working part-time while she was in high school. And over the last 3 decades, Jenny has managed several divisions with a primary focus on the quality control and process improvement. Jenny is a certified Florida appraiser, a member of the International Association of Assessing Officers, and Jenny leads a team of 40 office professionals who value more than 109,000 real and tangible personal property parcels. Jenny is born and raised in Stuart, married to her handsome husband, Brad, and they have 2 daughters. She volunteers for many charities throughout the area, including United Way, the Humane Society of Treasure Coast, and Reach Across America. And Jenny is also a graduate of the Leadership Martin County Class 30. I'd also like to take a moment and introduce Tyler Steinhauer. Tyler is the Director of Appraisal Services at the Martin County Property Appraiser's office, and he has been there since 2014. Tyler directs all aspects of valuation for residential, commercial, agriculture, tangible personal property, and property data departments. Tyler administers all major valuation projects and implements its processes to ensure the security and accuracy of property values. In addition, Tyler assists the property appraiser and the chief deputy in making decisions for the good of the organization's reputation and productivity. Tyler is a graduate of Florida State University. He is a state certified residential real estate appraiser, a Florida licensed broker, Florida licensed community association manager, and a certified Florida evaluator. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to welcome Jenny and Tyler this morning, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hello, everyone. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to spend some time with you this morning. We always love getting out and talking to people and, letting them know about Martin County. And, we think it's a little gem here. And so anyone who, wants to know more, we're always willing to come and talk and things like that. I also have my chief deputy on the call, Carl Anderson. If anyone has any questions too, he's listening in. And of course, Corey Rubel, she is my community outreach specialist. She's also dialed in right on our website, and I'll show you here in a little bit. Anytime you'd like us to come talk to you, we can host your organization in our office, and we have website tools and how to work all the resources available on our website. So we're just a ton of information here, and any way we can help you, reach out to her and she can schedule that. So we have like a great show for you today. No, we have a lot of great information. Tyler's going to be talking about all the upcoming development in Martin County, Indiantown, and so forth. We're going to cover some statistics about Martin County, give you a little feel about what we're all about. And but first, I'd like to just kind of talk a little bit about the office so you kind of know who we are but like I said, we are the Martin County Property Appraiser's Office. As Phyllis mentioned, there's 41 of us here at the office. Is it all right if I share my screen? Is now a good time to share my screen? I'm going to share my screen with you for a second. So let me, okay, can everybody see that? Okay,
Yes, we
great.
have your PowerPoint up.
Great. So one of the things is, as they mentioned in the bios, is we talked about the International Association of Assessing Officers. And that's a worldwide organization that basically sets the standard for appraisal. They provide an award. It's actually called the the Certificate of Excellence in Assessment Administration. This is about 13,000 jurisdictions fall under the umbrella of the IAAO. And of the 13,000 jurisdictions, only 49 have actually received this prestigious award, and Martin County is one of them. And it just goes to recognize jurisdictions that have the highest standards. They hold best practices. And so we're really proud. You have to be recertified every 5 years. In 2021, we just got our second recertification. So it just, to let you know, we have a great pool of professionals here. They're so smart and so brilliant at what they do. And I'm so proud of them. One of the things after as Phyllis mentioned, I have been here for 33 years, but I knew right away that when I got elected in 2020, that outreach was going to be a really, really big part of what we do here. And so we've launched several digital publications and print publications. And I will show you an area on our website where we put out articles every single month. We're in all of these, whether it's just to tell you a little bit about a granny flat exemption, whether it's to tell you about any upcoming constitutional amendments that are going to be on the ballot, just anything and everything. We are in those publications once a month. So we knew that was a way to get out there and see people. Obviously, social media, we broadened our social media platforms. We're now on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. This QR code will bring you to any one of them. I encourage you to follow us. We post daily, whether it's deadlines that homeowners need to know, whether it's mailings that are getting ready to come out, forms that they need to be aware of, exemptions that are coming online, what's a renewal. I mean, I could go on and on. So just to be in the know about what's happening and what's coming out, I encourage you to follow any one of those, and that'll tell you a little bit. One of the things I'd also like to share with you is I'm sure being that, and let me expand my screen here. Probably the more and more you get into Martin County, I'm assuming everyone's been on our website. If not, I encourage you to go on the website just to go over a couple, few things that we've launched. There's probably been more than 24 enhancements that we've made to our website. It's mobile friendly. You could use it on your iPad, your phones. But just to show you a couple things off the main site, again, we have quick links right in the front page. This will let you file for your homestead. You can look at trim notices here, our property tax estimator, which is excellent if you have a owner who wants to calculate the portability that they can move from one home to the next. It's also a great tool if somebody just wants to put in a pool and wants to know how much taxes that's going to increase. They can plug in the value of the pool and it'll calculate the taxes. So it's a great estimator. It's a great tool for new home buyers. That way they're not relying on the taxes of the prior owner. As you all know, when you buy a piece of property, you don't retain, the Save Our Homes benefit and the portability and things like that. So it's a great tool. Address changes. Here's our real property search. Again, it's like a Google search. You just put in a name. You can search by subdivision if you know a development, the account number, address, owner, or parcel ID. That will link you to the maps. Will link you to the sale maps. We have the sales search down here. Again, you can, and I'll just click on it really quick if you want to see the sales that are happening. Really, you can, if you want everything in Stuart, you just type in Stuart. That's going to give you everything in the city of Stuart, anything with a street that has Stuart in it, and any subdivision with Stuart in it. And again, you can put in your parameters. You can download it to Excel. So it's a real user-friendly, simple sales search. The next thing I'd like to show you are these printable handouts right on the home page. These printable handouts are just meant to be single page documents that relay a message. And we've put a lot of work into these. I don't know if you're like me, I like pictures and graphs over words. So we try to show diagrams, but they're on any topic. As you can see, there's some that tell you what the trim notice is all about, where we have free data reports. Those reports on the website are updated weekly. You can check those out, tangible personal property. So there's a ton of different topics here. You just click on it and print it. You can give it to an owner. This is our newest one is right here. It's the new home buyer timeline. And this just walks somebody through when they purchase a property, let's say in February 2021, the timeline over the years where it will all the way be August of 2022. That's a year and a half before they get a glimpse of what their taxes are going to be. And so that just, it really promotes that property tax estimator and shows them how they really need to use that to determine what their taxes are going to be. Otherwise, they'll be in a house for a year and a half and then just have sticker shock when they get that trim notice and realize that who they purchased it from, all of their exemptions came off, their Save Our Homes benefit came off. And so anyway, see, these are the kinds of flyers that we put out there. And then the last one I want to show you right on our homepage is educational videos. We have a section right here, and we've launched 8 of them. We put one out every single month, but basically they're 3 minutes or less. It'll tell you about the office. It'll tell you about the newest one we just released was everything about tangible personal property. So if you don't know what that is and you're a business owner, you might want to check that out. But again, our commitment is to putting these things out to put the tools in your hand to help your customers and your clients, to give them all the knowledge that they need about the property tax system. So anyway, that's a little bit, but again, there are so many tools and resources available on our website. So I encourage you to look out there. We have a live chat function here. We have 18 operators in office. You'll always get a live person. And if you happen to see a chatter on there that says, Jenny, that's actually me. I am on the chat because I love to chat to people. It helps me see where we could do better on our website, or if something's not working, it helps us fine tune that. Hence why we have so many enhancements we've done over the last year, because we love this feature. You know, everyone has such great ideas. And so, but if you get stuck somewhere, you can use that live chat. I'll go back over to the, let me just go back over to the, so aside from social media, the last thing I wanted to talk about, oh, I think that was it. I think that was it. So I will turn this over now to Tyler. He's going to give you all the fun facts about Martin County. And after at the end, I'd be happy to take any conversation. So I will stop sharing my screen now. And there you go.
And I will share mine. Okay. Well, thank you again for having us here today at the meeting to go over a little bit about the county. I'm going to start with some fun facts about Martin County, and then go into the developments that we have currently being worked on in our office. So to start, like Phyllis mentioned, our Martin County Property Appraiser's Office is responsible for over 109,000 accounts that we have to maintain and value every year. Of these 109,000 accounts, we have a little over 95,000 real property parcels. Increases in these parcels happen due to development and splitting of parcel counts. As a reference, St. Lucie County, to the north of us here, has 178,000 real property parcels, and Palm Beach County has 648,000. This kind of shows Martin County has always been a very slow growth county. Of these 95,000 parcels, we have 75,628 improved and 20,211 vacant parcels there. Of the 20,000, a majority of them are considered unbuildable. They are vacant land in Palm Beach Heights, so it's mostly wetlands for that. All right. Of those improved parcels, about 3,500 are commercial industrial. This only accounts for about 3.5% of the total improved count. So this kind of shows Martin County is a very heavy residential county. We have a little over 49,700 single family homes. This is up about 1.2% from last year. We are adding 560 new single family homes this year. This is about a 50% increase than we typically see. We're usually between 250 to 300 new homes coming online for the tax roll. We have 14,700 residential condominium units. Last year, we added 20, which was River House in downtown Stuart. And then we have an additional 30 units that will be coming online next year. I'll talk about a little bit, called Sailfish Cove, also a condominium complex in downtown Stuart. Currently, we have 12,600 tangible personal property accounts. This is everything that's used in a business other than inventory and items of real estate. So we have to maintain all of those as well. All these parcels and the accounts reside within a total of 543 square miles, which makes up Martin County. And like Jenny mentioned, we do this all with 41 full and part-time employees. We revalue every year as of January 1st. Next, I'm going to go over just 3 of the properties with the most finished area in Martin County. The first one has 29,524 square feet. It's at 462 South Beach Road in Jupiter Island. Some may recognize this from the aerial. That's Tiger Woods' property. It's comprised of, he has 4 parcels that make up this everything. It's his ocean house. This is also his as well. And then he has his workout facility and stuff down here. Second is 215 South Beach Road. This property has 25,023 square feet of finished area throughout all the buildings on the property. This is Celine Dion's old property. It's sold in 2017 for $28 million. And it is the only residential property with a water park in Martin County. And the third property is 4545 Northeast Ocean Boulevard in Jensen Beach. It's right next to Jensen Beach. Many may know this if you stop by and look at Christmas lights during the holiday season. This one's at 24,852 square feet of total finished area. Also, this has the largest main house in Martin County. The main house is 17,806 square feet. All right. Next, I'm just going to do the top 3 sale prices that we've had for residential properties. The first was our highest sale price. It happened in March of last year. This sold for a little over $55 million at 382 South Beach Road. This was Greg Norman's old property. Actually had an entire remodel from 2017, and it was completed in January of 21. And then after the new buyer purchased it, a permit was pulled for an entire interior remodel and demo. Second is 440 South Beach Road. This sold for $38 million in 2015. This property is owned by John Malone. In 2020, he was the largest landowner in the United States and owned a little over 2.2 million acres. This property is pretty unique for Jupiter Island. It sits up on a bluff 36 feet above sea level, and the top room actually rotates so that you can look out at the ocean and the intracoastal. The third property sold about a month ago for $34 million. It's at 609 South Beach Road. Right here, it sits about 4 lots off of the Palm Beach County line on the island. Next, I'm just going to go over just a few value charts, and then I'll get into the developments. The median sale price, a single family home last year was $435,000. Now, just a little insight in our office, we use overall Department of Revenue use code. So our single family homes, which we are in the future going to have some subcategories, includes both detached and attached single family homes. So this would have townhomes impacting the value as well. So last year it was $435,000. This was up 12.9%. So far this year we are at $500,000, which is about a 14.9% increase. And this is using 1,019 sales through the middle of May. Just on that, our topic of the sale counts, last year we had, like many counties did throughout the state of Florida, our largest sale count quite some time. We were up to 3,955 closed qualified sales, which was almost a 20% increase from the prior year. When we take this, our new number, which is about 1,019 up to this point in this year, and kind of average it out on closed sales per day, we're at about 7.7 sales per day. Last year, we were right below 11% or 11 closed sales per day. So this is a good indicator of the low inventory levels that everyone's seeing. This graph here is the history of single family new construction. This shows the amount of properties that were added to the tax roll in Martin County throughout the years. We are starting to tick back up as we're getting more and more of these developments happening. But you'll see a large increase in the 80s and the early thousands. The big increase in Martin County in the 80s for construction was the development of Martin Downs. This graph here shows the size of single family homes, the median size. So you'll see your typical older Florida 1960 home is that median size around 1,200 square feet. And through the years has increased. This number here has slightly decreased because the developers are looking for kind of higher density for the infill lots here in Martin County. So that is a lot of townhomes. So included in this single family number, like I mentioned earlier, has attached and detached. So your typical townhome that we have from Meritage Homes or DR Horton or Pulte usually is that 1,800 to 2,200 square foot mark. This is the history of market values year over year from 2000 to current. You'll see last year we hit $36.28 billion. This was the first time we exceeded our peak in 2007. And so far this year, we're 17% above last year's amount at 42.5. This is with about 86% of all the properties in the county valued. So we will see this number increase even more in these last couple weeks that we have. Okay, so the next set of slides are going to be the plats that we worked on, the developments that are starting. I will be switching back and forth between a development map. So hopefully it's not too much going back and forth on the screen. This map, just to let you know, is maintained by the Martin County MPO or the Metropolitan Planning Organization. And actually they're tasked with having this updated every 6 months. So I will share the link with you all because it is available to the public through their website. But first I will start in North Martin County and work south through the urban service area, then we'll move out west. I will, I guess if you have any questions or any specifics, you can just let me know after I'm done going through all of them. But I'll start up north here in Jensen. All right. And so the first property I'll talk about here is Osprey Preserve. Located right here. It's located at the intersection of Jensen Beach Boulevard and Green River Parkway. This plat was for a total of 87 parcels. They will have townhomes constructed on them. The starting price point is $429,000. I'll show you here on the screen, 429,000. You'll see I pulled the this just last week here. So these are, of course, like you probably have known if you go on these websites, the sold ones are in red. The quick move in typically is the blue. And then these have not been released yet, but are the remaining. These are a townhome set up in a duplex format. And you'll see a common theme is townhomes through a lot of these new developments that are coming in Martin County. The next I'll talk about is Sable Point. Sable Point's a D.R. Horton community located off Savannah Road on Cedar Street. It's directly east of Leilani Heights and south of Seawalk. This plat will be for a total of 68 single-family homes. This is set to open summer of 22. They've already started clearing. This aerial, by the way, is 21, so you would not see the latest updates. The 22 aerial will be released soon to the public, which would be flights that happened in January. So here's Seawalk, and you'll see most of this is all developed and homes are all through here. And this is the newly going to be developed Sable Point. Next one I'll go over here. This is the Preserve at Avonlea. This is a K. Hovnanian home community. It's located at the corner of Baker Road and Cardinal Avenue. This plat was for a total of 62 parcels. They will have townhomes constructed on them. Their starting price point is the mid 400s. That's kind of the layout here. And as to mention, the imagery that's on the right here is actually our office flies oblique imagery with eagle view. So it's a imagery taken at an angle. This is a straight down shot, but on our website, whenever you go to a parcel, there's a little symbol on that actual property that will allow you to click it, and you'll have imagery where you can go around an entire property and see it at an angle. We fly that every 2 years. All right. Next, I'll move to downtown Stuart. This is Sailfish Cove. This is the condos that I was talking about a little earlier. All right. So Sailfish Cove is, this project will have 30 residential condo units from studio size to 3-bedroom. These price points are from $594 to $1.34 million. And if you're on MLS, you can go and you see that they already have like the pre-sales. They just are, let's see, they removed the large crane that has been there for a little over a year and had Christmas lights on it. And they are on track for completion by the end of the year. Next, we'll go to Ocean Cove. It's a Pulte home community located off the East Ocean. Right here. This plat's are a total of 80 parcels, townhomes constructed on them. Their starting is at 492. As you'll see, I'll show you a different view of this, but they are starting construction on the last 2 buildings, which are out on the East Ocean. So these are all completed now, and then these last ones are starting construction. And you'll see most everything has been sold so far, except for the final buildings. This is directly east of Ocean Cove, called Tidewater Court. Very small little development that's going to happen. It just got its approvals. This will be for 10 townhomes. Don't have much specifics on it as of yet, but I'm sure they'll come soon. All right. Now we're going to move a little further south in Stuart off of Canner Highway. And many may know this community, this is Banyan Bay. This is a Ryan Homes community just south of South River Village, the condo complex up here. All of the other phases have been sold out, but they recorded the last phase up front on Canner Highway. This has 36 lots for single family homes. And they're set to start selling those either the end of second quarter, which is right about now, and third quarter of this year. I will show you here just kind of how the last phase looks. And I included here, this is the price sheet we got back in 2018 from them. And as you see, they started in from $399 to really $499. And when they sold out the last phase, it was in the low 800s. Just south of Banyan Bay is Willow Point. This is a D.R. Horton community. This is located directly south of Martin's Crossings. This plat is for a total of 65 parcels and will have single family detached. Most of the infrastructure work has been done on this, and they're estimated to open in summer of 22. Right here. Just a little further south, this is the preserves at Park Trace. This is located at the end of Willoughby Cove and Willoughby Road and Cove Road, right here. This is a D.R. Horton community as well. The plat is for a total of 114 single family detached homes, and this one is set to open in fall of 22. All right, now I'm gonna head down to Hope Sound. So this is the preserves at Park Trace I just mentioned. And then here is Hope Sound Courtyards. So this is developed by Gel Corp Industries. This is located between Algazini and Kingsley Street in Hope Sound. The plats for a total of 20 parcels that have townhomes constructed on them. The size range of the townhomes are between 2,500 and 3,700 square feet. And the price range is between $999 and $2.3 million. We are adding this year just this one building here onto the tax roll. The others have not been completed. I believe this one is completed as of about a month ago. And then they have started on the last two groups of townhomes. Check that on the map. Then we're going to go all the way down to the county line, which I'm sure many of you know of this development here. This was actually a replat. This is Bridgewater, a Devasta community. This is located off of Island Way. The original subdivision was platted at 36 parcels. This increased to 107, and the starting price point is 1.4 million now. And a large wait list is what I've also heard. We're going to go back out to Palm City, and then we'll move further out west from there. So this is Palm City. This is called the Oaks. It is a D.R. Horton community with 24 single family detached homes. It has, everything has been cleared. This happened within just the past like 2 months, cleared, and they are starting to put the infrastructure in place as we speak. I do not have a time frame when they're going to open up this one, but it's moving actually at a faster pace than we typically see. Show that to you. There's Martin Downs, and this located off a map here, right across from the Justin Wilson Park. After that, we'll go out a little bit west off of Citrus. This is Pentalago. It's located next to Fox Grove off Citrus. They have only recorded phase 1 of this project, which was 26 lots. Phase 2 will include an additional 16. We have had 16 sales of the lots from the first phase, right at the end of 21 and beginning of 22. And this is going to be a water sports community. They are kind of teaming up with Arthur Ruttenberg for their homes. This is kind of the look, and the canals or the lakes are all connected for water skiing and wakeboarding activities. Just south of there will be our next. This is High Point. And this is a Pulte Homes community located off Pratt Whitney, next to Foxwood and South Fork High School. And this is Christ Fellowship right here in the middle. And it will wrap the whole property. This is for 313 single family detached homes. Their starting is in the mid 500s. And this aerial doesn't do a lot of justice to it, but there's a lot of work happening out there right now. All right. So the next community I will touch on, let me just click on this here, is going to be this whole area, but it will be Newfield. So this is one of the, since Martin Downs, the next largest master plan kind of community that Martin County has seen. This is going to be done by the Anatomy Homes, which is the largest privately owned home builder in the North America. It will have, when it is completed, around 4,200 residential units of various types, from single family detached, townhomes, condos and apartments. Phase 1, which is here, encompasses 139 acres, which will have the town center, residential units, a lot of the retail portions of it. What makes this one a kind of a unique development, and especially kind of how it most likely in the end got its approval in Martin County, is 70% of this property of the total 3,400 acres is going to be set aside for open space, parks, preserve, playing fields. So only 30% will have true development on it. It's scheduled for groundbreaking the middle to end of this year. They project selling the first sales fall of 23 and the first home completion in 24. From here, I'll head out west to Indiantown. All right. This is kind of, they actually have a great website for Newfield, kind of gives some more details of how they have the phases laid out and what it will look like. So Terra Lago, this will be in the village of Indiantown. It's Garcia Companies, a Virginia-based company, is going to be developing this. It's set to have a little over 2,000 single family homes, 174 townhomes, and 300 apartments. I don't have a ton of detail on that when they're going to start it, but everyone that we have talked to said it is ready to go and they want to start it as soon as possible. So we'll have to wait and see on Terra Lago. Indiantown does have a lot, if you look at the map, of approved already projects that can start. There's not a ton of detail on them, but this has been approved for some time here. This was Osceola Pines, which is 157 residential units, and then in review right now to the south is River Oak. So they have a lot of projects that are on the horizon. So hopefully, if we can maintain a nice market and get the desirability there, that these can actually happen. I'd like to see that for Indiantown. And that's all I have for developments. Stop share. All right, any questions?
All right. I would like to thank you. That was a lot of information. I did not realize that so much was going on in Martin County. Wow. I would like to go ahead and start the question and answer session. I'd now like to introduce our JHS Miami past president and current leader, Nancy Cardone.
Thank you so much, Joanne. That really was a lot of information. And I'm thinking that perhaps we also might want to invite some folks from transportation to share with us how all of this is going to be handled. That's just adding up all of the units that you just spoke of. That's a whole lot of residents who will all have cars most likely. So that will be very interesting. Let me ask you something. When these projects come forward for approval, what are some of the concurrencies that are taken into account? And clearly, you know, roads and schools come to mind immediately, but what are some of the other concurrencies that have to be met so that these projects get approved? I don't know if Jenny, you want to take that, or if Tyler?
Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, well, so first off, they have to get the sign off. Growth management does a full review, and they would end up, when it gets presented in front of the county commission, having its blessing that they're looking at. First off, it goes through, you know, traffic and all the impacts it's going to have to the surrounding properties, and then to the county as a whole, how utility hookups are going to happen, what infrastructure has to be put in place, not only on the property, but on the surrounding streets. If, for instance, Langford Landing, I don't know if anyone knows kind of that property, they had to put a roundabout in it always for the longest time, and Jensen had just a stop sign there. So as part of that project, they put in a roundabout, and now Langford Landings, the homeowner association, maintains that roundabout. So it's a kind of a smart thing that the county is doing, that have the communities that are impacting the area actually have to maintain what they're impacting a little bit outside of the development as a whole.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting. And do you coordinate with Florida Power and Light? Obviously, they need to chime in to provide all of the power to these communities. And I know that they have a lot of land, I believe, in Martin County for solar and things like that.
Yeah, so that would be part of their proposal, the developer's proposal. Kind of, I could give everyone like a snapshot of what our office in the end kind of looks at. So when the project goes in front of the county commission, it gets its approvals and sign-offs from all the departments, and it given the go-ahead for construction. Then what the developer does is they contact us, and we would actually issue the parcel numbers so that they can then pull the permits on the property to start this work. Once we do that, we receive the plat, and all the main property, or you know, maybe 4 properties that turn into 100, or 1 property that turns into 100 parcels, would then be split out in our office on the map. They would be given an account numbers, and then from that point, we just track the development as it's going along, not necessarily the building department side of it, but as it's progressing and it finishes, then we would take it, we pick up all the specifics, yard items, improvements, the structures, and then that's when it's fully complete before January 1st, we would then add it to the tax roll. And then that's when we would be looking at sales to determine a value for tax purposes on the property.
Fabulous. Speaking of roads again, a question has come in. Are there any plans to widen Cove Road from Canner Highway to US 1, and any future plans for Canner from I-95 to US 1? Although I have to say, having to take that road occasionally, so that has been very painful for the past year, because there's been so much construction on Canner Highway.
So to actually show you something that's quite interesting, I'll just do a quick screen share on my screen again. What is nice about it, hopefully everyone can see this MPO map now. Nice about this map is they actually, since the MPO, one of their biggest things that they look at is traffic counts and population and impacts like that, is it will line up when there's going to be work that's done. So if you click on this Cove Road line here, it's going to say widening from 2 to 4 lanes, including bike lane, shared use path. Now it gives they give a fiscal year proposed ranking, and they could go into, if you contact them or the building department or growth management would have more of a timeline on when it's going to happen, but it's something that's already in the works that is going to be happening. Another one that would be for Palm City, which I'm surprised they didn't include, Martin Highway 714, that's going to be widened. But was High Meadows, is they're going to make this a 4-lane coming in from 95 as well.
Very good. That's a heavily traveled road as well. Let me ask you about affordable housing. Certainly it's something that every community needs, especially now. We would love to see a lot of millennials to be able to start families with home ownership. Does Martin County have any type of ordinances that require affordable housing units within communities? And if so, what would those regulations be? Or is it a matter of working with the developers just to try to get some of the units to be affordable housing? How do you handle that?
Yeah, well, many of like the infill projects that we see that are coming in now, they already have like a approved kind of units for that size lot. Now, what we are seeing that the county, and even in the city of Stuart, will allow is when a developer comes and say, I want to do a higher density project than what I'm currently allowed by unit count, say if they want to go from 50 to 75 units. That sometimes the city will look at, well, if we give approval, we want a certain amount set aside as affordable units or affordable housing units. And that's one way that I have seen in the past that they can try to get some units that are there. But like I mentioned, a lot of this doesn't seem much affordable when you look at the townhomes. Pretty much every townhome that I mentioned there, the starting price point is $450, and that's just what they're saying. So when you go there and there's a wait list, stuff gets into the 500, 600. So it kind of goes away from the affordable units. But and on our office side of it, we kind of get the end result of the decisions from the county commission and the growth management.
Understand. Just such a difficult situation that we're in. There is a question about Costco. That was in the news an awful lot. What's going on with Costco?
I have not heard anything since that went back to Tallahassee and they kind of made a ruling. I think it is planned to go back in front of the city. I'm not sure the date specifically on that, to try and pass it in the, I guess, the right manner than what it was before. But if you have been by the property, clearing has already started of like the non-native trees and plants. There's a silt fence around the entire property itself, and work is happening kind of daily there. So
things are happening.
They probably are just doing what they can at the moment until it gets its stamp of approval.
So get your Costco membership now. Be ready. I also just wanted to touch a little bit on the website, because you have a really fabulous website and it can be very interactive, especially, when folks are considering portability, which is so important, when we help folks to upsize or downsize, and they have a lot of concerns about the tax implications and how that will affect them. Would you like to share with everybody the fabulous tools that you've got on your website?
Sure, absolutely. Let me share my screen again. Hold on one second. Okay. So can y'all see my screen?
I can.
Okay, so the property tax estimator, which, like I said, I kind of went really fast, but it's right in the middle of the homepage under property tax estimator. And there's two different searches. There's a homestead portability one, or this non-homestead one. This is the one I'll touch on in a second, but I thought is really great if you just want to see how many taxes are going to be added for putting on an addition or a pool. But right now we'll just take the, so you would say, yes, I have homestead. And then when you click that, it's going to ask you about the previous property. So wherever somebody's coming from. So let's say, for example, they are going to need to know the house that they're moving from. They're going to need to know their market and their assessed, which they can get off their trim notice. But let's say, for example, they're coming from a property that's 800,000 and their assessed value is, I don't know, 600,000. Okay. Now it wants to know about the property that they're moving to. This is where you can kind of see how an upsize or a downsize would work. So right now, if you put in, and let's say you just put in the sale price. So let's take an upsize right now. So what it wants to know is from the market value where you're moving from to the market value where you're moving to. So the market value we're moving from is 800,000. So let's say we're buying $1 million property. It looks at market to market. So there's $1 million. And then it's going to ask you where about in the county. So if you're not sure, just pick county. It's going to give you the average millage. But if you specifically know it's Stuart or Sewell's Point or Jupiter Island and so forth, but we'll just take the county. And then you can click calculate. And this shows you here, your portability is 200,000, which is the difference between these two, which was your prior year market and assessed. So because it's an upsize, it's transferring the entire 200,000. So your estimated assessed value on your new property is 800,000. Take off your exemption of 50,000, and that leaves a new taxable value on your new property of 750,000. And that's your tax range, which is 11,947 to 13,274. So that shows you right there the whole calculation. Now, if you want to reverse it, and let's say you're coming, this would stay the same, your market and assessed from the prior property. But let's say you're downsizing to a condo that's worth, 500,000. Okay. You can calculate that. And now you'll see that instead of the original 200,000, you're going to be able to port 125,000. So it's a calculation. And the way they do that is they take your prior year assessed value, divide it into your prior year market value, and that's a percentage. And then that's what they multiply times the sale price or the current value. So then your assessed value of the new property is 375, take off your homestead of 50, and that leaves a taxable value of 325. And then there's your proposed taxes. So you can play around with this any way you want, and you can do upsize, downsize, but you are going to need to know the previous property. And like I said, most property appraisers have the trim notices available right on the website. So you can just look up the property and view the trim notice, and that'll give you the market and the assessed. But the last estimator I just wanted to show you is this non-homestead one. And it's not taking into account homestead or port or anything like that. It's just a straight, if you know it's going to be an income producing property, just put in the sale price. But this is where if you knew somebody who was going to be adding a $60,000 pool, they could just put in 60 here and calculate that. And that gives them the estimated range for adding that pool. So they can kind of gauge about how much their taxes are going to go up for whatever new construction they want to add. So this is a great one just for real quick and to determine the average property taxes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We do not have any additional questions because you've done such a great job.
All right.
So
Well, thank
I
you for
want
having
to-
us. And if y'all are on the website and if you need help with anything, please reach out to us and let us know, or if you have any suggestions.
Oh, I'm sure if they have suggestions, they will let you know. We have an active group. But on behalf of all of our realtors, we want to thank you, Jenny and Tyler,
Thank you.
your deputy Carl, and the rest of your team. All of you do a great job. We really enjoy working with you. It's imperative that we do work with you for what we do. So your cooperation is just so greatly appreciated. And thank you for taking your time to share with us this morning. We
No
appreciate
problem.
that as well.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Joanne, any last words from you?
No, just thank you everyone for attending. Again, this will be on MiamiRealtorsLive.com. We did record it, so it will be there, should be by the end of the week. So have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.